Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video, and this is a paid request for Anton. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, random thoughts, streams, commentaries, video game playthrough for an hour, or full playthrough, movie review, re-review, tier list, ranking, reaction, commentary, whatever the case may be, feel free to send it directly to my PayPal. Is the best way to do it. Do have a CashApp as well. Links are down below in info box, and we will get to it. Well, I'll get to it as soon as I can. And Anton, if you're watching, I apologize for the lateness of the video. Thank you so much for your generosity and your patience. I truly appreciate it. But again, sorry about this. I'm trying to get to these as soon as I can. But thank you for your patience. I do appreciate it. Same with everyone else. Thank you. Now, this is for a film called Alpha. Now, it came out in 2018. And to be honest, I completely forgot this film existed until Anton requested it. And you may have forgotten it too, or you never heard of it. Now, it's directed by one of the Hughes brothers. Yes, one of the two guys who made Menace to Society, among other films. They split off and did their own movies. Albert Hughes did a couple films. I think he did Broken City with Russell Crowe and Mark Wahlberg, a few others, including this film. And this film didn't do well. This film came and went. I think it only made 30-some million in the US. It debuted like a number 5 or something. It did not do anything. Got some good critical reviews, but I did not mind the film. But I can see why it's been forgotten. I do think it's a movie that could have been better. Because the film takes place in Europe 20,000 years ago. Now, if you're a historian, I'm sure you would lose your fucking mind during this movie with how they utilize and how they visualize stuff. I'm sure people that know about animals, how they work back then, like how fast the wolf in this gets domesticated, would lose their fucking minds. So if you watch this, don't go in it for realism. So if you don't go in it for realism, it's a very simple story about a boy and his dog. In this case, a teen and his wolf. That's really what it is. And if you take out the end credits, it's like 90 minutes or so. And one thing that's interesting, it's in a completely different language. It's not in English at all. I mean, hell, I could say you don't even have to have subtitles to understand what's going on. You get the gist of it. It's that simple. You have your lead teen. He wants to go with the hunting party that his dad's with. After a little bit of a ritual, people beat the shit out of him to see how tough he is. All that jazz. They say kill this boar, but he can't do it. So you know where that's leading. He can't kill this creature now, but he's going to have to kill later. That's going to be his arc. One of his arcs. So eventually they get to a point which they do one of those things where they show scenes and then they go 1 week earlier. There are films I liked that do that, sure, but that could be a trope that gets tiring when you see it after a while. Whether it's one scene or a number of scenes and then 2 weeks before, 1 week before, 1 month earlier. It's like, God damn it. Do you have to do it this fucking time? Like Sonic the Hedgehog did that. I'm like, okay, fine, but God damn it, man. It's like, we don't trust you to wait on us. So let's throw some kind of action bit here to give you a taste, and then we'll see you later. But granted, I mean, it doesn't take too long to get back into that scene again. And like I said, it's pretty simple. Like I said, the lead kid, he wants to be with the tribe, the hunting party. Dad's like, fine, you gotta prove yourself. He can't kill the boar. They go hunt this bison. In the middle of it, the bison hits the kid. When it comes back, it like hooks into something, drags him off the cliff. Done in slow-mo at the very beginning. And we do it 1 week earlier. The slow-mo kind of remind me of Zack Snyder, but not as overused. Not nearly as overused of slow-mo as Zack Snyder. He's hanging off the cliff. The dad tries to help him. He falls off. The dad tries to get down. They go, now he's probably dead. They leave. There's like a vulture that bites his lip. He wakes up, smacks the vulture, tries to climb up, falls down to the water below, gets washed ashore, splints his leg, goes on the journey to get home. He gets chased by wolves. He goes up a tree. He stabs one. By the time he wakes up, the other wolves have left. There's the wolf that's been stabbed. He is ready to kill it, but he feels sympathy, so he tarries and takes care of the wolf. And after just a little bit where pets it for a bit, does a little bit of stuff to its wound, gives it some water, starts the domestication process. Now granted, wolves ain't gonna let you do that. They're gonna eat your ass. I don't know, maybe after a year, maybe, but not after that, no. This wolf would have ate his ass with some fava beans and nice Chianti, but, you know, it's a movie. You either go with it or you don't. It's a movie. And then pretty much, you know, he leaves the wolf there now that the wolf's healed, but the wolf follows him. And they go on their journey, and that's pretty much it. I almost want to say not a whole lot happens throughout the rest of the movie. Because it's true. It's they hunt, help each other a little bit. They bond a little bit. Then one day the wolf sees other wolves, and the wolf is called Alpha. That's why the movie's called Alpha. And the lead's like, hey, if you want to go along with them, go ahead. And the wolf does. The lead guy travels a bit. I mean, this is spoilers, because to me there's not a whole lot to spoil. So, sorry, spoilers for a film from 2018. So, spoilers. If you don't want to hear spoilers, if the poster, the idea interests you, feel free to watch it. Come back to watch the rest of this review. So, spoilers. They catch some fish. They kill a warthog. They go in the snow. They see the other wolves. Alpha goes with them. The lead guy travels on. He falls to some ice. Alpha's there, pulls him out. They find this dead guy. The lead takes his bow and arrow. They're chased by some hyenas. They go into a cave. There's a lion. He shoots the lion. The wolf is hurt. He carries him and the wolf go off to the blizzard, fall down, wake up, pick up the wolf, keep going. They're at the village. And then, super spoilers, you find out Alpha was a female, gives birth, and then the wolf and the lead is fine with their family. The wolf pups become wolves for the tribe, and the movie's over. And that's the thing, it just... For the world that they built up, for the world that they're showcasing this, it just feels like a waste to tell such a simple, unremarkable story. The one thing I would say remarkable is, at times, the cinematography. That is the best part of this movie, the cinematography. I don't mean the CGI. I'm talking about the cinematography. Because I will say Albert Hughes... Who the fuck is Alan? Albert. I don't know who the fuck Alan is. Maybe it's the third brother. Maybe he came in. Maybe the third brother came in to do cinematography. I don't know. Albert Hughes. Which I don't know. Maybe it is the. I don't know the cinematographer's name. I should have looked him up. Maybe it's he's the reason why it looks good. Either way, the way it showcases the landscapes, many shots where it's very wide, and either him and the wolf are traversing. Like there's a wide shot where the guy's walking here, and then you see the wolf coming. Well, it's from this side. Like the guy's walking. Then by the time he gets here, you see the wolf here walking. And a lot of it's done wide. Wide shots are going through the frozen tundra. There's shots where when the wolves are earlier down below, he's up the tree, and there's this big star constellation in the sky. Very nice cinematography. It's cool looking shots on that front. I'll give you that. The acting, I mean, it's mostly after the very beginning, the very ending. There's the other characters, and there's not much to them. It's just the father who kind of leads the tribe. There's the mother who cries because she's been told her son's been killed. Really, there's not much in terms of characterization. There's not much in terms of character development. It's just the lead kid and goes through, I can't kill, now I will kill. It's like the simplest of themes, simplest of terms. He didn't do a bad job. It's just there's not a whole lot there to talk about, at least to me. It's not like you get memories and thoughts of him in the past, or him thinking about whether he has a girlfriend or he has, friends, or like 127 hours. The story is simple. A guy stuck, his appendage is stuck, and he's got to figure out how to survive. But then you get these memories and thoughts, what he should have done, his dad, what he wants to get out of here, this is what he wants his future to be. There's a little bit more character to work with, even though technically it's a simple story. Here, it's not just a simple story, but the characterization is simple. Which, yes, that can work. That can work in other movies as well. It can. It has. And the wolf, when it's practical, cool. Yeah, wolves are cool. As long as they're, wolf dogs. Just mostly when they do these movies, it's like a hybrid, because they're more able to be trained. From what I understand, it's very hard, or I don't want to say impossible, but a lot harder to train an actual wolf. So they usually have wolf dogs. I think that's the one in... I think like the one in John Carpenter's The Thing. I think that's a wolf dog. I can't remember. I don't know. I could be wrong on that. So it's just an assumption. Whatever. And with the dog's acting, the wolf's acting, it does a decent enough job. Hell, the best character in the movie was Alpha. Part of me wished the entire movie was from its point of view, as it's in this. That's the thing. You're going to have a movie take place 20,000 years ago in Europe, but I don't really think it runs with that idea. What other animals were around during that time, and what other things could you come up with during that time? Because, okay, he hunts... Okay, he sees wolves. Would you see wolves nowadays? They hunt a warthog. They hunt fish. We could see that nowadays. Go fishing. Even the lion. Like, you see a lion... Well, you kind of see a lion twice. One early on before they get to the bison. And then later on when they're in this cave. And to me, it just seemed like a typical lion. I've seen reviews say it's a saber-toothed tiger. I didn't see that. I do have glasses. Maybe I'm going blind. But that's the thing. Again, I don't know. I'm not knowledgeable on what was around 20,000 years ago, animal-wise. But I would think you would pick that date because, just let's face it. Again, this isn't a realistic movie. But you don't have this fantastical world of yesteryear. If that's the case, it really play around with what was there, what could have been there, what might have been in that time period. And granted, I mean, I guess Roland Emmerich tried to do it at 10,000 BC. I completely forgot that movie existed until now. 10,000 BC, holy shit. Was that Roland Emmerich? I can't remember that film. I know that one used a lot. I mean, this, I think that used a lot more CGI. But I know that one had a lot more, like, exotic, animals it was using. But like I said, it's just, it's like if you tweaked a few things, you could tell the story today. Or not even 20,000 years ago. Like, if you tweaked a few things, you could tell the story based on, I don't know, 200 years ago. It just felt like the idea of making this take place 20,000 years ago kind of made me go, why? Because I don't think they utilized that much. You say, well, the environments. Okay, if that's all it was going to be, to just show the environments, is neat to see. I don't know if that's enough for the movie. Just like I said, it's just, the build-up that you see in other, like, The Revenant, with Leonardo DiCaprio. Other films are survival stories and stuff. And the CGI isn't that good at times, especially on the animals. Like when you first see the wolves, and then like the lion, whether the first time you see it or the one in the cave, they don't look that good. I doubt they look that good in 2018, let alone today in 2025. The cinematography, the landscape may look nice and neat, but the CGI animals, that's one of those things that it's very hard to make CGI animals look worth a shit. It's hard to do that. It's very, very hard. Because we know how these animals move. We know how their fur's like. Like, we know, and so we can tell when it's artificial. And, yes, are there movies I could watch and enjoy that do have that? Yes. But does that take me out of the movie where I get disconnected? Yes, it does. And the adventure just didn't feel as gripping or as amazing or as wild as, you know what? Fucking Ice Age seemed like a more gripping adventure at times. I don't mean to make this sound like a rant, because I didn't hate the movie. It's just, but fucking Ice Age, I thought felt more like an adventure than this movie. It's fucking Ice Age, but again, I don't know what all animals were around in 20,000 years ago. I would think there would at least be more that are more exotic, more wild and crazy, and try to bring them alive for practical or a mix like Jurassic Park of CG and practical. Like, go that route. A mix in CG and practical. Like the raptors. I mean, I guess you technically say the wolves, because the wolves are CG, but then there are many scenes of Alpha where it's an actual wolf or wolf dog, whatever they actually used. But not much of anything else, and then use a mix of the two. I still don't know, like, Jurassic Park 1993 still looks better than, stuff in this movie. I'm talking about, like, the animals and stuff. And those are dinosaurs. But that's the thing, like, I'm like, okay, cool looking environment. Let's see what you got. And there wasn't really much there, so that's why I could see why this was forgotten. I could see why nobody talks about this, because there's not a whole lot to dive into. The themes are simple and mostly surface level. The dialogue is fairly minimal. Just, the lead having a few words from time to time to the wolf. You don't really know a whole lot about the lead kids, like, throughout it, other than him keep going on and learning to kill. It's not, gritty, dangerous, scary. And again, after the fall, he fixes his leg, he carries the wolf, hunts, falls in the ice, the stuff in the cave, after finding the dead guy, his bow and arrow. That's really it. And it just felt like it wasn't enough. I remember at the end going, oh, that's it? Okay. I guess that's it. So it just... Maybe some would view it as that's more realistic. If he was going all, absolute crazy. Funny enough, it made me think of that cartoon. Was it Primal? Which I know I reviewed. I didn't see the other episodes, honestly, because the guy said he was going to request more later, and he never did. Kind of curious, when was that? Primal. That was from Arthur. 9 months ago. Season 1, episode 1 and 2. Season 1, episode 1 and 2. And yeah, those are the only ones I saw because I talked to the guy, and the guy's like, hey, I'll request more. I guess not. My review probably sucked, that's why. Nah. In all seriousness, Arthur, if you ever see this, I hope you're doing well, man. I do. I do appreciate it. But like Primal I liked more. And that's a cartoon. The episode 1 and 2 of Primal, where it's ancient time, and there's a guy, only much more badass guy, and instead of a wolf is a dinosaur. Like, I kind of want to see that movie more than Alpha. But, like, that was cool. That was cool. But, I do want to thank Arthur if he ever sees this. That was really nice of him. I mean, people don't... It's nice that people request stuff. It's really humbling, so thank you. But, hopefully I didn't do too shitty of a job. I probably did. Anyway, I'm going off topic. But I just thought, like, Primal, like that cartoon. Again, I only saw the first 2 episodes, and that I enjoyed more than this. But again, this is not bad. I don't think the acting is bad. It's a short enough film, it didn't feel like it overstayed its welcome. The visuals, like cinematography, looked nice. There are certain really good looking shots. Like there's a shot where he's under the ice and the wolf is following him, trying to figure out what to do. And there's this wide shot where you see the guy under the ice here and the wolf kind of do like a little jump, like just trying to get into the ice. And it's done in slow-mo. And this is using slow-mo in a not overdone fashion like Zack Snyder would do. Albert Hughes used it very sparingly. So it made the scenes stick out more. Whether it be the bison throwing the guy off the cliff in like a flip, or this scene here. I went, oh shit, okay, cool shot. So I remember them more. If you use it every 10 minutes, then okay, it's just another shot you're doing. Or use slow-mo like choo, poo, ba, ba, ba. Okay, or maybe that could work in one scene, but don't use it in 10 other scenes then. Zack Snyder. But anyway. But yeah, I mean, watch the trailer. If the trailer... Actually, you know, I haven't seen the trailer. The trailer might give away the entire movie, because not a whole lot happens in the film. But, yeah, as is... It's cool that I saw it once. I don't know if I ever see it again, though. It maybe want to go back and rewatch the first 2 episodes of Primal. That's an animated cartoon. Again, a man and his dinosaur. Yeah. Yeah. I think, like I said, because of the time period it takes place in, it's disappointing because it seems like it should have been more. It should have been more, and I thought they kind of... The results were kind of dwindling. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm like, this should have been more. It should have been more, man. Maybe that's just me being greedy. I don't know. With that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye for now.